Damn. Fix this setup. What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Today's topic is going to be about feeling lost and um, really not knowing where to go. And wherever you are in your path, right there with you. I'm like, you ever could feel like you're doing everything right, but still get the wrong outcome and still get things that just don't really make a whole lot of sense of why you're getting it. I'm at this point in my life right now where I'm doing everything I possibly can to ensure victory and success, and I'm not really seeing anything. And it sometimes could be questioning because I have this drive, I have this ambition of wanting to make it towards each one of my goals of being like successful in everything, with just finding meaningful relationships, being with a good business, having the good career that you always wanted, living the dream, and doing what you can possibly do. Just naming some stuff off my head. So, um, but relationships, it could just be in general, just like with good friends and good people. Um, honestly, just that. But no matter how much work you put in, you're not really seeing anything, and it kind of gets to a point where it's just like, okay, what am I doing? You really take a step back and be like, wait, I'm doing all this and I'm barely getting anything. And I think that's like one of the worst feelings to ever really go through. And I have to journal and figure out what went wrong per se in like my life. And it's just like, why do I feel like this? Because everything, from an outside perspective, like, oh, you're going to school, you're going to work, and you work out, you're in good shape, and you do all these things, and you have so much going on for yourself. But it's just, you don't feel that way. You don't feel like you've done anything. You're just back from square one. And it helps to look at old pictures and stuff like that to really see like, okay, I made it this far, and I'm doing a whole lot of stuff I can just to make it. But it still hurts. It still hurts. Yeah, still very much hurts and stuff like that, and having to go through that and sit through that and be reminded of like, okay, like you want to have this, but then you're getting this. I think that's one of the worst feelings ever to really go through, and I possibly just I can't really express that, how vaguely it makes you want to question your reality in a way where you look at your life and you're working towards this, but you're getting that. Say for example, it's for anything. It's just you could be working out, you're trying to lose some weight, and you're not really losing those pounds. You're actually just still gaining weight and stuff like that, and you're not really doing anything. So I do believe that you know those moments you have to take a step back and figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? But then when you want to ask people for help, for example, like, oh, like, hey, is there something I could be doing or something I could do to improve on the matter and stuff like that? you know, Sometimes the advice that I would usually give, for my example, it's just people be like, "Oh, you're just tripping, bro. You don't worry about it," and not really understanding how passionate you are of wanting to get rid of this problem, because it means a lot to you to move on to like the next chapter in your life. So this doesn't hold you back, because whatever problem you may have, it could bleed into every other area in your life and stuff like that. And it's just same thing with confidence. Like, if you're confident in one thing, you may be confident in something else. If you're not confident in this one thing, it's gonna be onto something else. If you're not confident in believing in yourself, well, you're not gonna believe you're gonna get that girl, you're gonna make that promotion, you're gonna make that business, you're gonna do whatever, you can get in shape, you can like be a part of your dreams that actually means something to you. It's just that bleeds every. But if you can believe you can make that business and you can do this and do that and make all these big ambition goals and just actually foresee it, I think that's like the best thing in the world to have someone to go through. But a lot of times is when I tell people my problems and stuff like that, they be like, "Oh, you're just tripping. Don't worry about it." No, you don't share the same passion as I do. Obviously, like, it's just, it goes to me because I'm like, they don't understand what it's like to want to be somewhere and not being able to get there. You're working your ass off. I'm saying you working your ass off. You're doing everything you know yourself well. You know when you're bullshitting something, and you know when you actually putting work. When you actually are putting in work and putting everything on the line for that particular goal to make sure it happens, and you don't see anything. I'm not saying like you see. I mean, you see crumbs. You don't see. Sometimes you don't see nothing, and it's just like that engine can only go on for so long before you start to check out, like a check light engine. And then once that happens, it's just like you're not going anywhere. You want to just stay stuck. You're just tired of just pushing this broken down vehicle that obviously needs to be put down. Saying as a metaphor, putting down a dream that you once had. But you can't put down a dream because it's your ego, your pride. It's the pride. Like, I know I could do this. It's just, why is it nothing aligning the way I want it to be? How frustrating that feeling is. And I don't think people, can understand that feeling. This is why I distance myself from a lot of people, because it's just like, once I try to talk to someone about my issues and the goals, about like where I want to be in life and the people I want to attract and the goals the places I want to go, and they just like, oh, don't worry about it, we'll come, or just chill, bro. It's not that serious, man. Like, you hear all that dumbass stuff, and it's just like, I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm trying to hear, what can I do? Because I'm not trying to be perfect, but I'm just trying to prove to myself that I can do something, and I don't want to just give up on it, because you may give up on your dreams and your goals, and you may be with everybody, or you're just like, it's whatever. No, that stuff bothers me. It keeps me up at night, 3 a.m. in the morning, thinking about what could I do to be better. If they don't have that same ambition, then sometimes you just can't. There's nothing to talk about, and you can feel that energy too, and it feels more like gaslighting. If you ever notice that, like, you talk to somebody about a particular goal you may have, and then they try to like tell you, why you taking it so serious, bro? It's not even that serious. Or, hey man, it's just how it is, bro. There's nothing you can do. Some cookie cutter ass advice, and sometimes you're really not trying to hear it. And people are just unhelpful now with the advice they give. And I often find myself a lot of times feeling alone and wanting to be alone, because I'd rather indulge myself with people that actually understand what it's like to get to the next level, because they see so much within themselves. I see so much within myself. I see so much. I see a lot of potential. I see it every day, and if I need to work on it, if that's need be, then I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. But it just hurts staying there. It's just staying stagnant. I don't like staying stagnant. So it's a whole nother thing, and that's why I don't appreciate where when people talk about that stuff, they're like, oh well, don't. Why are you making a big deal about it? It's not, no big deal. No, those people I just distance myself from. Got me crazy. I'm like, yeah, you may be able to kind of hide how you feel towards things, but I can't. It bothers me every day. I've there's a lot of people out there that can just hide how they feel and just use all kind of distractions and stuff like that. It doesn't really work on me. The way I've been raised and how I just am. The more I hide from something, the bigger and stronger it gets, and until eventually it'll be impossible to take down. And then when it gets to that impossible territory, then that's when I start feeling hopeless. When I feel hopeless and really can't get nothing done at that point. So I'm at this point right now in my life where it's like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not seeing anything of it, And it kind of makes me just question myself. And just because my life before, I give a prime example instead of just speaking in riddles and stuff like that. My social life before, I was like the guy that went out to certain parties and all kind of stuff, and it was easier to make friends back then, and it just was natural. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to like, oh, I gotta go out and be social. No, bitch, I was out being social. It was easy, second nature, something that was just natural. Got girls' attentions, and got everyone's attention. Everyone was hitting me up for stuff. Hey, bro, can you draw me this? Can you do this for me? Hey, bro, can you be my personal trainer? Can you do this and and like all that kind of stuff. And like I was a circle of attention, and all that changed when I had to go to Cal State, LA, and I had to go to Disneyland, which made my time very limited as a person. I have to literally like space in my own time, to go back and forth and figure out ways to manage myself, and it sacrificed a lot of friendships, relationships, and just people in general, because it's just like when I couldn't put my all into being that same character of like, oh, the goofy, like always there for you guy. People switched on me quick. I mean, quick as hell. I never got switched on in my life so fast before, where I just question like my morality, and sometimes it's just who I am as a person. Like, is there something I did? Is there something wrong with me? And of course, I could always easily go to like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, but it's just like how quickly people can switch up just like that. people that you thought you were close to, you can see a whole future with. So, that's a whole nother thing. It kind of hurt, just going through that. So, I mean, yeah, just dealing with that stuff and having to experience it, that wasn't easy at all. So, yeah, that was tough. And, having to sacrifice and not really getting as much, um, the same energy as I once did before. Like, I was always popping off with stuff, and people were always coming up to me with everything, and it just feels different now. And I'm more on my own, and I'm more focused on to like going to school and going to work. But it's just, I always compare, like, damn, am I, why did it change, or what happened? I don't know if God has something to do with this, or the universe, or whatever. Especially I feel like back then, especially with relationships and stuff like that. I'll be honest with it. Like, when I wasn't in shape, or that good a shape, or didn't take care of my hair like that, or did anything, or switching my style, it was easier getting girls back then. But now, well taken care of, do everything I'm supposed to do. Better shape now. What they say, handsome guys struggle with girls or something like that. Yeah. So basically, I've been dealing with all kind of. It's more goofy stuff. But back then, yeah, you dealt with games, but now it's just like, oh, okay, not really seeing anything work towards. It's like, imagine getting yourself in really good shape and not really seeing it. But you had more success back then, and you weren't in good shape. You weren't where you were supposed to be back then, where you were still getting something. It just blows my mind. And it's just like, you look back, it's like, wait, what was he doing that I'm not doing? I'm the same person, but a more improved, updated version of that person. How is myself from back then was able to pull more than how I am now? It's just like, just stuff like that doesn't make any sense. And it leaves me wondering, what am I doing wrong? And these type of moments really inflicted on my confidence, because people are like, well, why do you question yourself? Why? I don't question. I'm just curious on what the hell is going on. Basically, that's just been me. Because imagine everything could be going right, and then it just flips on you, and then people are still telling you like, oh, you're doing the right thing. Just keep it up. Just keep it up. Just keep it up. And then you're not really seeing anything, and your younger self was chilling. So enough of that nonsense. But yeah, that's what usually would happen. Like, I used to got more hit ups with commissions and training and all kind of stuff, business wise, and I improved on all those areas. I have equitable experience, but I'm not getting hired for the job. That's just been going on, and it feels like I've been going backwards, like that Tame Impala song. So, Jesus, man, it sucks. It really sucks. I'm probably gonna be looking at this in my future self, like, man, you don't gotta worry about this shit now. So I'm working towards, man, just so things can make sense, because it does suck going through that. It does. It really does. It's like, man, you ain't seeing nothing. Like, nope, not little bitty crumbs. Nothing. Like, damn. Well, what can you do but keep working and just work like a dumbass and keep going on, That's the only thing I can do, is just, because I can't stop now. I've gotten this far, so, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I can't stop now. It's, I've gotten this far. I'm not going to, like, give up on myself, or just not really do anything about it. Because I think that would be injustice towards me as a person. Like, imagine putting in all this work, and then you give up on yourself. And you're like, oh, well, I guess there's nothing I can do. I can't do that to myself. That's crazy talk. It's absolutely crazy talk. So, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to keep figuring out ways to get better, improve, and understand the game of life, and do what I can, Even as if it's confusing and unreliable, untrusting as it is, just got to keep going, And I think that's the bottom line. No matter where you're at in life, as confusing as the road was, because you saw that road, you saw the journey it takes to get to where you need to go. You saw it clear as day. It was so clear. You can just walk on it like water, walk on it like a day in the park. And then the moment you start taking more than 5 to 10 steps, that whole road is, and now you're in this suburban desert, and there's nothing. You can't see anything. You're just literally just walking aimlessly, finding clues, of where the track may be so you can go forward in life. And that's what it feels like. It literally feels like, it sounds like an awesome game. It actually sounds like a frustrating game. I'll get frustrated easily playing that shit. I'll be like, man, I ain't trying to play this shit. I throw that controller out the window. It was the path was right there. What happened? Why don't I see anything? What's going on? Like, oh my God, give me a sign. You know those games where like they don't give you a hint or nothing. I'll give you those old like OG games are like the damn level's so difficult you gotta like give it to your older brother or look on YouTube or something like that. That's how life is feeling right now. I'm like, I've been stuck on this level for like 10 minutes, like 10 hours. I'm like, it's like it's not enjoyable anymore. It's just like, okay, I'm trying to get to the next level, something, But hey, do what you got to do to get to that next point. No matter how long it takes, look back, retrace, figure out the map, understand it, and get better at it. That's the only thing you can do. It literally feels like that, like being stuck at a level in the game as a kid. Like, if you have those memories of that, you know how annoying that was. Super annoying. But this video is long as it is. It's 16 minutes. Oh my God. But yeah, that's where I'm at in life. Just we're gonna keep getting better. Just trusting the process, as people would say, and doing as much as I can. But you guys take care, and thank you for listening. Peace. Bitch, I screenshot